Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of FocusWire, joined here by Papatla. You're the Vice President for Booking Experiences at Booking.com, part of Booking Holdings, so welcome, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ram. It's just an interesting time generally for this sector as a whole, but in particular for Booking.com and Booking Holdings. Significant elements of that this year was buying FareHarbor, which we can come back to that in a little while. But you've started expanding the Booking Experiences product. So recently, I think the last few weeks, it's gone into North America. Kind of where does it go from here? I mean, do you take it on a region by region basis, or?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. The way we think about Booking Experiences is not really a reflection of a market, but a reflection of our customers.
Okay.
So we're thinking about all the minutes our customers have, which is full of friction, full of pain, and we want to remove that friction so that they can enjoy their travel, right? So this is more than just tours and activities. It's everything that's really involved in a travel. It could be, getting a reservation at a restaurant. It could be having a great time, of course, at an activity. It could also be, having a great in-stay massage in the room, right? So many of those things that are really important to travel, right? So we're looking at all of those things together.
Okay. I think it'd be fair to say that Booking.com has come into this fairly late to the game, and why is that?
Yeah, I can't really answer the historical reason about why we're late, but I think the way I think about it is the time is right, because the entire ecosystem is actually geared for adopting technology and really think about servicing customers. There's customer demand coming in, which is more than just staying at a hotel. People want to do a lot more. They research a lot more, which didn't happen a few years ago. So I think the market is just ripe. I'm not too sure if it's late, but I also think that we have a big responsibility to come in and think about the ecosystem and really raising the bar of the ecosystem. How do we actually get the suppliers to participate in this, right? And again, we feel the industry is actually very behind. And that's why for us, FareHarbor is very exciting, because they've actually done that. Like, part of FareHarbor's success is to make sure the partner is successful, right? And we believe in that.
Okay. It's only my experience, and I think just generally the experience of the experiences part, for fear of using lots of experiences, but it has been in the booking. It's not been in the booking flow. It's been in the CRM.
Yes.
So I'll be very upfront. I use Booking.com a fair amount, which you'll obviously be thrilled about. But
yes.
But prior to arriving here in Las Vegas, I had an email that came up that said, "Here is the QR code, and this is the process that you've been doing." Is that at this point a very deliberate part that you serve it at this point, rather than there being a separate element on the site? It feels like it's very much a CRM-led idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a transient stage. The way we think about it is we're learning a ton, right? And we're a learning organization. What we're trying to learn is, what does it mean to actually be in all of these cities, deliver all of these experiences, have the supplier participate in it, learn about how customers use it, learn about the feedback before we start opening up the distribution, right? And for us, distribution is not just another tab on Booking. We can put that, and it's not a big deal. It's really about integrating all of this so it makes sense in trip for the customer, right? So that's something that we want to do.
And we always hear a lot of people talking in tours and activities about the activity as the thing that they think about at the very, very last minute, or maybe worse than that, when they're actually in destination and already staying.
Yes.
That part, when they're actually in destination, once they've got to the hotel, how do you tackle that? Because since I've got here, I've not had a single email or alert on the Booking.com app to remind me that there is still stuff down the road on the strip that you happen to serve a QR code for.
Yeah, the good news is it's coming. Okay. So the way we think about personalization is much more deeper than sending a notification, because I want to know whether you are a solo traveler in Vegas today, or is your family with you? Is there a child in the family? And can we actually recommend something that's more meaningful for you, right? And I want to make sure that what I recommend to you is the right proximity. It is safe. It has the right pickup and windows for you to go pick up what you need to pick up. All of those things. So we're looking at all of those things. We're thinking about the impact of weather. We're thinking about impact of what happens to a high-selling inventory. What happens when there's no walk-in? All of those things. So I think a lot of testing is going on before we start sending you those in-trip notifications.
Right. Okay. And you couldn't have done any of this unless you'd bought FareHarbor, right? So
We could have. I think
we were doing some elements.
We're doing some elements.
Right. It started in Amsterdam, and
absolutely,
it's been in various parts of Europe. What does the what does the FareHarbor deal do to the overall strategy, apart from just connect you to more suppliers? Is there anything else that it does?
No, it's a big deal from a cultural statement, right? Because the way we think about merchant success is not about selling more tickets, right? We think about as long as our partners are successful, right? We are successful, not the other way around. Right? For us, FareHarbor actually has that cultural element where historically they've always made sure that the partner is successful. They built the tooling, they built the education, and they don't leave a partner when the partner is going live, right? And that's exactly what we like as well, right? For us, it's more than just getting another reservation software. It's an entire cultural element that we got in. That's the first part, very important part. The second part is really, as we look at the selection of the world, I can divide the world in lots of different selection segments. FareHarbor is really good in one particular type of selection segment, and I want that. Of course, that doesn't mean it'll serve all of the customer demand. I still need to go acquire a whole bunch of other selection, which I'm doing, right? So it definitely has complemented my strategy.
So, I mean, the obvious kind of follow-up question there is FareHarbor enough? Do you need at some point to maybe tap into other vendors in order to help you do the bigger picture?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question, right? The world's a big place. There are lots and lots of exciting things that are available in the world. Not one player can go quickly aggregate everything, but we don't believe in just buying another aggregator or just partnering with an aggregator. That we can do on the back of the brand of Booking. But we really want to understand, clearly, can we understand the supply? Can we actually really understand every attribute that the supply is actually putting in so our customers can make the decision? So I want that direct relationship with the supplier, not have a relationship where I really don't know what exactly is happening, right? So we're approaching things slightly differently.
Okay, we can't not mention probably one of the biggest stories that has emerged this week, and that's TripAdvisor's admission that it would be biasing Booking customers in its listings. What is Booking.com's strategy around that?
Yeah, I think it's a very objective strategy. So I don't, the way we think about any sort of ranking, I think that's the question you're asking me, any sort of ranking or influence on ranking is really a customer focus, not a supplier bias. So in fact, when inventory comes into Booking, whether it's acquired by Booking or FareHarbor, we don't have any bias towards it. Right? That's something that we don't care. We care about what do we serve our customers, is it the right thing we serve our customers, right? And that's how we operate, and we'll always continue to operate that way.
Okay. Back to the consumer-facing product. I mean, Booking.com spends a hell of a lot of money on digital marketing, and that's predominantly around its hotels.
Yes.
Well, do you sense that will change over time so that it starts spending money on the experiences that you're also trying to sell?
Yeah, I don't think about, am I going to have a clicks product, where I'm monetizing those clicks. I don't think about it that way. Maybe we will eventually, but what I think about right now is how do I strengthen accommodations, right? We already have the customer, we acquired them, I have zero marketing costs, can I show them my whole world of experiences? Okay. That's where I'm starting first. Second, of course, I have to go acquire new customers who don't understand Booking brand or who don't know probably we offer all of these things. Yes, there will be marketing costs there, but it's too early to say how we're going to do it.
So you're saying, just to confirm that, you're saying it's still a hotel-led digital marketing strategy?
For now, but we're certainly opening up our eyes. So for example, we're already looking at distribution APIs for our attractions product, so that we can offer it to other folks as well, or travelers directly. So we're looking at that very deeply.
Okay, and in terms of supply and the types of products that you're offering, is it high volume things that you will be concentrating on as you launch and conquer? I don't like to say conquer, but launch and conquer in each city, or will you start to move down some of the more niche kind of walking tours, peer-to-peer kind of tours, and things like that?
Yeah, just a quick reflection. I call it partnering with the city. I don't think about it as conquering a city. We really deeply want to partner with every city, and we're committed to that. So I actually think about customer demand rather than just the top 10 or the bottom 10 or the middle 10, right? I really want to make sure it's a reflection of the customer demand. So I have a knife sharpening lesson in Kyoto. I signed up Guggenheim today, this afternoon in New York, and then Las Vegas was launched this at the start of your conference this week, right? So it all depends on where the customer demand is coming from, right? The diversity in our catalog is extremely extensive. It's too early to say that we're only going to pick one part, which I definitely don't want to. I want to be, have a mass appeal to our customers. I want to make sure that they have choices when they make their travel choice.
And just finally, Ram, Booking.com's very serious entry into this marketplace has kind of got everybody very interested. And I mean, obviously they have the connections into the FareHarbor customers, but I mean, generally, what are suppliers saying to you about what they want from you to provide to them? Is it just let's just get more customers? Because Booking.com's experience in the hotel sector is, a hotel can just dial up its Booking.com distribution, and all of a sudden it's filling its rooms.
Yeah,
even though they may not like that. It's like a partner that they need to have.
Absolutely. I think the inventory management is obviously slightly different than hotel, which is a fixed asset versus non-fixed asset, and I know you know that. I think I've talked to close to 50 suppliers, and I talk to suppliers all the time, and the number one thing that I hear is extremely positive sentiment about us entering the space. And the tone of how we look at FareHarbor, the 1 degree of separation between what FareHarbor is doing in terms of still serving the market, right, and our commitment to actually uplift the suppliers. I think we're hearing nothing but amazing positive news that we're in there, and for us, it's really an important challenge that we live up to that expectation. Right? And we still need to do a lot of work to make sure that we can have the right supply orchestration, we can make sure that customers can connect, and like you talked about, distributing outside of the accommodations space, so all of those things have to happen. It's still early days for us.
And do you think it will get to a stage, because frankly it will be yourselves, it will be TripAdvisor, and it will be Expedia, as these three mega brands all doing the same thing? Will it get to the point where you would have to start asking some suppliers to be exclusive to you because you want to have some kind of point of differentiation between yourselves and those other two major brands?
Yeah, I think differentiation comes in many aspects. Supplier exclusivity is one of them, but not the only one.
Yep.
I think personalization is another one. So we're looking at all of those factors to see which one has the higher weightage, right? So I'm not really, I don't have a strong point of view on the exclusivity today, but I have a very strong point of view on personalization, and make sure that we do a great job of personalization, payments, on the supply side, onboarding our suppliers, paying them on time, in record time, faster than the industry does. Like, those are the things I worry about.
Okay, and just finally, I mean, Booking.com is part of a big group of other brands. Will there come a point where what you're doing with tours and activities could extend into those other brands? I'm thinking of Kayak from a meta level, Agoda, which is your hotel focus elsewhere, and just the connection into OpenTable, because you were talking about its experiences, and food we're always told is a unique, is an intrinsic part of the experience of visiting a destination.
Yeah, I think we have a good example today. We actually have integrated deeply with OpenTable. In many US cities, we actually show reservable inventory to our customers. So I think it's a good success story. Hopefully we'll have more.
Okay. Ram Papatla, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yep.